Hello, hello. It's me, Portia O. I am your host of Lifin podcast, and I am so excited we're here tonight with episode number 5, and I have a beautiful guest, as you can see, SheVante Walker. Hey, SheVante. How are you?
I am good.
Yes.
How are you?
I am wonderful. I'm super excited to have you tonight. I know we've been talking about this for a while, and here we are. So,
Yes, let's do it.
yes, let's do it. Yes. So, me and SheVante, just a quick backstory. We've known each other since high school.
Yes.
I mean, we getting old because that was a while ago, girl. Like, ooh. Anyway.
Is it 20? No, it's not 20.
It hasn't been. It's almost though. That's
Almost.
Crazy.
We got, 3 more years?
Yeah. And a lot of life has happened, obviously, since then. So we've known each other since high school. We sang in a gospel choir together. She is a soprano, just like me. We used to hold it down. So that's always like a great time. Pause was definitely something that was near and dear to my heart and kind of saved me throughout my high school years or whatever. So super appreciative of that community that I built from there. Still talk to, that's pretty much who my friends is from West, is people from Paul's. Like,
Yeah.
So because we have experienced so much life, and our stories are kind of similar as far as like, growing up in the church, different things like that. And so we both experienced a lot of good things about church. I appreciate my relationship with God, and without that foundation, I wouldn't be able to be where I am today. But we also experienced a lot of church hurt. Okay, it's a very real thing. People don't like to talk about it. Everybody just want to sweep it on the rug like it ain't happening. But it'll be a lot of broken, bruised, So it's a whole thing. We're gonna start tonight. I'm just gonna throw some questions out there because y'all know my segment. I got some questions, y'all. Y'all know I stay with the questions. But I feel like SheVante is gonna answer them throughout her storytelling of her experience of her church hurt. So this, I just want to put this on the forefront of y'all mind that this is what we're trying to like work through. Okay, we're here tonight. This is a safe space. This is a no judgment zone. The real things that are happening within the church to a lot of people. I'm not saying this is everybody's experience, to each his own, but I know for me and my fellow friends, family, and stuff that have experienced church life, this is very much real for us. So here are a few of my questions. First question: who all is being affected by this type of behavior? Okay. Ooh. Second question: what do you do to prevent this from happening? Okay. Third question: when do you say enough is enough? Where do you go after you experience such pain? Fifth question: why would anyone want to hurt you in a place where everyone is hurting? Why? We all here for the same reasons, okay? And the last question: how often does these type of things happen? Okay? So those are some questions we plan on answering tonight throughout our conversation. And from that point on, I'm going to go to my next segment, which is, this is just my life experience. But tonight, it won't just be my life experience only. This is about SheVante's life experience. So SheVante, I'm going to give you the floor to kind of start off the conversation about your experience through this church hurt. Okay?
Sure. Well, yeah, so I'm SheVante, 35, just made 35 in October. I'm a mother, 2 beautiful girls, and it's real. So, like, I grew up in church, literally born in church. My grandfather was a preacher. I was on preaching engagements with him, and I loved church at a really early age, and I always knew that I had a relationship with God. Like, I just knew God talked to me. I didn't really fully understand it until getting older.
Mm-hmm.
But I always knew things before things happened.
Wow.
I kept like a diary on like my whole life, literally. If I could go back and find my journals and stuff, it would be, you know what I'm saying, things that I felt like God was speaking to me about people, dreams, like so it was real for me.
Yeah,
so I took a loving to churches because that was something that I was brought up in. I grew up under, you ain't had no choice but to go to church, you know what I'm saying? So I tried to find a way to, you know, love it, and it was there because I think my heart was pure and genuine for God.
Absolutely.
Like, just period. So it's easy to love people when you truly love God.
Yes.
And that's always been me. But as I start getting older and then now, like, these just start getting weird, you know, like trying to make me cover up. And I shared this in my TikTok video from like an adult standpoint.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? I was facing stuff as a teenager as well. You know, that's when that shame was first being introduced. And I'm not going to lie, I was promiscuous as a teenager, which is expected as a, you know, teenage girl. It's a real phase. You know what I mean? But being that way and trying to hide that and be in church was really hard.
Yeah.
Because I got picked on a lot. Like, oh, you feeling now, you got hips now, that must mean you having sex. Or you doing this or that. Or like just being thrown on the altar because you look a certain way, you know, like we gotta come cast the devil out of you because you can't look like that. You can't dress like that. You can't, you
because beauty equates the devil must be in you.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay.
And honestly, the older I got, the stronger that statement that you just made became. So, like, from teen years into adulthood, I had already kind of had a reputation of being, like, I'll just say it, like a church hoe. Not because I was sleeping around with so many men, you know, in church, not because I was going after, you know, people's husbands or anything like that, but really because of my looks. And unfortunately, it's not something that people, you know, want to talk about, but objectification is real.
Of women in the church.
Right. Yeah.
Objectification overall of women in this world, but in the church too. Like,
when we think about Megan Good's story, and it breaks my heart because she married a pastor who was the nastiest to her. It was the church women. You know, women sitting right there in the church making her feel like because of her role in Hollywood. This is the thing that trips me out about her story, which is why I can connect to her so much. She is objectified, I feel like, in Hollywood. Like, she's always in a more sexy, you know, sensual type of role as an actress.
Yeah.
I was shocked to find out that Megan Good was like celibate, like she had a whole relationship with God, like who she is.
Yeah.
Megan loves God. So her, I mean, I know this is her ex-husband now, but when they shared their story, she was like, no, we weren't having sex. Like, they kept themselves until marriage. But if you're looking at this image of her, of what we see of Megan Good, it's easy to judge her based on that.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, ooh, like I can identify with that. And, you know, kind of like that cruelty that comes really from church women.
Yep. Yes.
A lot of women that were older than me who were very nasty. You know, to me, I see their faces, you know, and I've worked out forgiveness in my heart, but that's been that was a hard
yeah.
That was a hard thing. You know, so in my 20s, there's this one particular situation. I was like, I'm gonna talk about it because that was I don't know how many years, 10 years ago, and I never really got into that, but that one really was the marker of like kind of like the eye-opener, like, wow, like I never felt like people were after me as viciously and as much as I was in this one situation. So visiting this church with my mom because we had left from another church that dismantled. Pastor got caught up in the scandal. It was really bad. So my mom finds this other church. So me, her, and my god sister, we go, being like, "Oh, this is popping." You know what I'm saying? The pastor was definitely much older than me, but I'm still of age because I'm in my 20s.
Yeah.
And he pursued me. He pursued me, but he was single, so he had a lot of options.
Yeah.
A lot of options. And a lot of women who claimed that they were protecting him, they were his intercessors. I feel like those women kind of wanted their turn. You know what I'm saying? Or
absolutely.
Ask for rape because he's a pastor.
Yeah.
And so growing up in church culture,
yes,
it's kind of like the highest. If you become a pastor's wife, like that's the gold ticket. Like
right,
you know
right.
You know.
Everybody aspires to the power of it all, you know. So yeah, I'm be a first lady. Okay.
Right. So he pursued me, and I wasn't looking for no man. Like I just was trying to. This was the first like prophetic culture church, like really heavy, that I had stuff put in. I'm like, ooh, that makes sense why I dream like this. This makes sense why this happens to me. You know, it kind of was connecting the pieces of who I was. Yeah. But just like, you know, a man saw me, he took interest. Basically, long story short, the women there were very cruel. A lot of them were older than me. Very cruel, very nasty. That I got labeled as Jezebel. I got labeled as Delilah. I got labeled as a hoe, baby, everything but a daughter of God, okay? A daughter of God because they saw how he took to me, but no one knew that behind the scenes, like he was pursuing me. And he had asked my mother, he had asked my parents if he could, you know, pursue me. So it was a real thing, but he just wasn't honest in his dealings again because he had so many options, you know, so many women. And it was really bad for me. Like I took the heat for him. I remember this one time I walked in. It was supposed to be a women's gathering. Baby, it was a trap. They did an FAQ section and the questions were centered around me. So yeah.
For them to answer?
Huh?
For them to answer?
Yeah, so it was like you write your questions down on this index card and the MC is going to read the questions and then anybody can answer. So one of the questions, I will never forget this. One of the questions was, what do you do when there is a woman who is displaying, excuse me, y'all, Jezebelic tendencies and she is willing to get the pastor by any means necessary. Right. And everybody's looking at me. And I'm like, okay. So just that humiliation, like, and that's just like one example, you know, of the type of humiliation that I face in that one situation.
Yeah.
And that happened continually, you know, and it's just like, dang it, you know. No, there was a point in my time where I was celibate for 5 years. I didn't date, wasn't having no sex. It wasn't none of that, you know, because I literally had gotten terrified into that space. Yeah. Now that I reflect, because I've been out of the church for a while, but now that I've had time to like reflect, look back and heal, I feel like that was a trauma response because it's like right before that, I was told, oh, you need to stay away from married men. I never been with a married man. I never, you know what I'm saying? That wasn't my get down. My mom was raised. Yeah.
But it's the assumption that you want all the men. You just want to be with anybody.
Exactly. And you know where that came from? Because a lot of guys were attracted from me.
Exactly. But that ain't your fault. Right.
So that means that I have to be doing something to lure them. So that means I got to pray the devil out. I got to fast. I got to get on the altar. I got to consecrate. I got to do all this stuff. So I literally was like, I was feared, if you will, into celibacy because I'm like, you know, at that point, I thought something was wrong with me. And I shared this on that TikTok video. I was asking God, like, what's wrong with me? Like, that's really when I've always dealt with being self-conscious, you know, about my body. I had things about myself that I didn't like, things about myself, just like every other woman.
Yes.
insecurity. So imagine dealing with that plus external shaming because of how I look, and constantly poking at me and we gotta get the devil out of you because you too happy with people flirting with you. What?
Like, that's literally a natural response.
Right. And I can't. So like, I used to hide from guys. I didn't want to be seen. Don't talk to me. Like I was like, and I used to think that it was a good thing, Portia. I really did. I'm like, oh, I'm in a good space with God. But it was trauma. That was trauma to cut myself off from men.
Is it still
I'm not
going?
saying to not, be celibate or because I think abstinence is a beautiful thing, but there are more reasons than to prove some point, that you can be good enough to earn marriage or a husband or something. It's way deeper than that. You know what I'm saying?
It's way deeper than that. Pause 1 second in your story because I got so many, I'm flooded with so many feelings and things. Girl, listen. First of all, like you said, with that one instance that happened at the women's gathering, and it was all centered around you. With certain things like that happen, and I know that he was pursuing you behind the scenes, would you disclose that to him? And then what would his response be?
He knew that. I don't know what he told those women. Like, if he ever told them to back up off of her. I've been told, like, he used to have people at his house all the time. And one time I was there with my god sister. And someone pulled her to the side. Another woman pulled her to the side. You need to tell her to leave because she's here to try to sleep with him and take his glory whole time. All I would say is, it's easy to put, and we've seen this a lot in church. I say we because I'm pretty sure you've seen this, where men can do things behind their titles, and a woman, innocent or not, she's still gonna catch the blame for that.
And see, this is my main problem, SheVante. Like I said, I asked that question, like, why would anyone want to hurt you in a place where everyone is hurting? If we're here to heal, and they compare the church to like a hospital, we all sick and we come here to heal and get what we need to be better and live life and blah, 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 blah. Why would y'all think it's okay to, we already as women on this earth have to go through so much in this world. We should even more so, because we're coming here as one faith, be gathering together, trying to encourage each other. Like, I know it's hard out here for us sisters. Man can get away with certain things that we cannot get away with. We have to present a certain way so that we won't be. That's just like blaming a rape victim for being raped. Yeah. I'm just out here looking cute. I can't help that I'm cute, and he thought he could take advantage of me.
Right.
But you're going to blame the woman, and that's what society does all the time. So the church, in this instance, you would think that would be a safe haven to be like, I understand people are praying on you. Right. People are going to come for you because you are vivacious and gorgeous and all that type of stuff. Right. Sister, let me help you. Let me tell you to like, stay prayed up. Pray for your protection. Right. Pray God to give you discernment that you're not wasting your time on the wrong man. That's what they should be teaching as the elders of the church.
Out of my encounter, I've met hundreds of people, especially at my former church, because it was a bigger church. Mm-hmm. I've met hundreds of people. I can tell you that only a handful have said things like, what you just said, have admonished me and been like, no, they on the proud for you, babe. Like, yeah, maybe a good 2 handfuls. That's it, out of hundreds of people.
And that's so sad because, again, we're all here for the same reason, or at least that's what they say, right? We supposed to be here for the same reasons, but the devil go to church too. And just like y'all sitting up here trying to cast out the devil out of me, right? He up in you. You allow him to use you.
But it occurs. There's nothing that I can, do about that. And I really thought at one point that something was wrong with me. Like my journal entries from a couple of years ago will be like, God, like, why would you? Okay, you say that you call me to serve you. You say you call me to ministry to do this and that. Mm-hmm. But I can't get past how people perceive how I look because that holds me back. And that has happened. I've been in meetings, I've been in settings where leaders have called me out about things in front of people, you know, other leaders who didn't know me, other people who didn't know me, to put something in their head about me. It is like, I would never be prosperous here. So when you say like, if we're all here for the same thing, a lot of it has to do with ego.
No,
a lot of it has to do with, you know, people be power tripping.
Oh, yeah.
Ego, or in my case, just flat out jealousy.
Sorry.
I was like, what happened? Flat out jealousy, envy, and trying to block you, you know what I'm saying, from whatever. Because I'm like, if God gave it to me, how do you feel like you can't take it? You can take it. Sorry.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's the spirits that's in them that they're allowing to operate within them that is giving them that boost of, yeah, you can take her power. Let's try to tear her down, you know, because they obviously see your gift. They obviously see the glory on you. It's deeper than that. They obviously want to be in your position. So therefore, I'm going to tear you down. I'm going to try to stop you at every cost. I don't care if that means your salvation, your sanity, your mental wellness. I don't care about none of that, because it's all to benefit me and my ego, because I'm trying to be where you may be destined to be, you know?
And it's crazy because a lot of people who did that to me, I felt like they were well off or further along than me.
Or crazy
to be people in position that I would look up to. And why are you so threatened? You know, and I'm a sweetheart. So
yes, you are.
The image people want to put on me and who I am as a person do not mesh. Because if you know, I will give my shirt off my back. I'm always making sure my friends are okay. Like, you reach out, I'm gonna make you laugh. I'm gonna encourage you. That's just me naturally. So it's unfortunate that a lot of people missed out on an opportunity to have a good person in their space, somebody who looks out for everybody, because you couldn't get past how I looked. And I say that with 100% confidence now, like, because back then I used to just feel like something was wrong with me. Like, oh God, like, what am I doing? You know? But then the things that I was hiding from are natural things. So, like, men being attracted to you, being an attractive female in your 20s, and men wanting to pursue you, or going on dates, you know, and just having that experience. I was robbed of so much in my 20s because I was like, no, this is whatever I'm doing is giving something to make me look bad, to make me. I don't want to be on my pastor's radar, like, none of that. Like, let me just be good. But the whole time, I found out once I left church that my pastor wasn't really for me the way that I thought, you know, that he was. He was moving things around. Yeah. And I'm thinking he had my back, and it wasn't that.
It wasn't.
So that's a lot of ego, a lot of
manipulation.
I started reading this book because I'm like, I need to get it, right? This book called The First Shall Be Last. I can get the name of the author, but he talks about how there's so much narcissism present in churches and people that we don't even realize. It is a very heavy read, like, because he's a psychologist, so he really goes deep. But reading some of the things that he said, I was like, wow. Like, a lot of people are just egotistic, insecure, jealous people. And it's easy to project that onto others.
Yes.
In an attempt to make yourself feel good, look good. And I experienced that a lot. So,
yes.
Churches can't love because people are full of ego.
That part. And hate. And hate. They full of hate.
Yeah.
And it's hate about
self-hate.
That's what I was just about to say. It's about hating themselves. They can't get past, and that's why they feel like they have to demean you. That's why they feel like they have to, oh, I'm the head of this. So this is everything. I'm better than you. I can look down on you because I'm the head of this. That's a title, ma'am and sir. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Because you ain't got no title worth nothing outside of this church. Your life ain't worth nothing outside of this church. You feel like here's where your power lies. This way I can kind of get off, feed that ego. You know what I'm saying? And get away with it in the name of Jesus.
Right.
And
that's where that manipulation sits in, because when you are under leaders who telling you, oh, this, and this, and God said this, and this, you can automatically slip into condemnation, guilt, or shame. And really, a lot of the times, I'm like, I was carrying shame that wasn't even mine.
Wasn't even yours.
Things that people falsely
placed on you. Just laying it on you. Yeah.
It's easy for somebody who's an empath like me, for somebody who, it's easy to try to pick on me and be like, oh, I could just make her feel bad and that'll shut her down.
Yeah.
You know?
But that's another thing. They recognize, they tapped in on your insecurities. They saw, because I'm sure it didn't start off as aggressive as it got, right? But they saw little loophole. Oh, we can get her like this. We can get her like that. Oh, yeah. So they played on your emotions. They played on the things that your insecurities. They saw that you were vulnerable. They saw that. And it was like, we
know that if it wasn't nothing else, I love God and like really pour it out. Like, we're singers, so I would just be going for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, just because I always do, I'm doing what I do at home. I always had that connection with God. So yeah, people can see certain things and be like, oh no, we gotta
shut that down.
Child, it's a mess, but
it is. It's so sad because at that young age, even when I was a teenager in my young 20s, I was super impressionable, right? Because we're taught when you grow up in church, you aspire to be like some of the other people in the church, and you want to have that respect. And like you see their aura, you think, but baby,
I don't know about the Proverbs 31 women.
Ooh.
I know a few. I definitely do. But I know more quarrelsome women. I know more envious and jealous women. I would count that more than the Proverbs 31.
Ooh, that's deep.
Contentious women. Women who, I had a friend. She was like a big sister to me. Mm-hmm. There was a guy that came in, because in church, baby, it's one man for every 30.
Slim pickings. It's somebody new. It's somebody new.
That pretty young I didn't even know, bro. It was checking me out. That's how far into thinking I'm into God and all that. It really is just trauma, But I wasn't thinking about him. My friends had to be like, gee, he sit right next to you all the time. Like, I don't know who he is. Mm-hmm. But baby, my so-called friend, this woman is much older than me. We weren't friends no more. Because she gathered behind my back women who, I thought were my friends, and they had a field day, bashing me. Oh, Vontae just so desperate for a husband. I ain't did nothing but be liked. We went to, my friends had a barbecue, which is not uncommon for us. We used to get together Sundays after church, barbecue, cook, whatever, all the time. And they had invited him, and he came, and that's when, he was expressing his interest in me. All I did was ever be interested in it. And I lost friendships. People stabbed me in the back, turned on me, a lot of betrayal. I'm going through a lot, Portia. And it's heartbreaking because some of the people I know really didn't mean any harm. Yeah. Because, like you said, they were just impressionable. Yeah. Whatever. If you have so many people saying the same thing, whether it's the truth or not, you kind of start believing it. It'll play on your mental. Yeah. What I had to learn is just because a lie is accepted by a majority does not make it true.
That part.
No.
That part.
It's just easier for y'all to gang up on me, and it's still a big lie.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a very heartbreaking time because if I had known she was interested in him, if I had known, that was any, I wouldn't even checking for this dude. I promise you.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have stepped out of her way and let her do her thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If it was that bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've lost a lot of friendships. I've lost a lot over stupid stuff just because it just was vicious. Couldn't really form relationships with some of the female leaders like I would have liked to,
mm-hmm.
because they were spearheading the hate groups. A mess. So yeah, I got tired of it. One of your questions was, how do you know? I got tired of it. I'm not gonna spend. I say this all the time. I gave church like my 20s, my teens and my 20s. They won't touch my 30s. I'm sorry. Like, it's a time for me to heal, to find myself. I gotta heal that girl in my 20s now.
Yeah.
I gotta find her. I have to redefine who I am and break off these labels, break off these stigmas. People do not realize that stuff sticks with you. It's stuff that affects me to this day.
That's a part of your foundation.
Yeah, I have to proactively work against stuff all the time, because
what's
that
been
was
planted.
my environment. That was my reality.
That was implanted in you all those years. And you said that you got tired. What did you get tired after your 5 years of trauma, celibacy, abstinence?
Because I felt like this. Even at that time, it still continued on. And it couldn't be no more obvious that I was single. Just like, not even look. I didn't want to be caught in the hallway and have a conversation with nobody, because that would get back. Then I'm pulled in a meeting getting grilled. You know what I'm saying? Or a deliverance session being scheduled for me because what is you doing?
So it never stopped. It never stopped.
No, there's some big lie or rumor. I remember this one woman, we had I can't remember if it was like a Bible study, and then we had like prayer afterwards. I just went up for prayer, whatever. She stopped in the middle of her prayer. It was cool at first. God love you, you're just so beautiful. But God said, that man you seeing ain't your husband. And when you stop seeing him, then your real husband gonna come. Baby, I ain't seen that nobody in 3 years. What you talking about?
So that was something planted.
Like labels.
Yeah.
All of that. And I was so heartbroken. Like, it shouldn't have hurt my feelings the way it did. But I'm just like, I can't get out of this. Like,
why shouldn't it? Like, you had so much trauma on trauma on trauma. Like, of course, any little thing related to that is going to hurt you.
And get this, I leave church, start, because they don't want you to talk about church hurt. Like,
no, they don't.
Thing.
And that's what I'm here for today. I'm here for it today.
Right.
Come over here.
That's a forbidden thing.
Right.
But I'm like, why not have certain conversations so we can know how to heal this area so that the church can be better?
That's the point. That's the point. It's not to shine a light and be like, don't go to church, people, because this can happen. No, it's to be realistic about church being a place, just like any other place on this earth, that is a potential of something like this happening, and be mindful of it before it happens to you, or before it takes. Don't be so impressionable to the point that you don't know God yourself. First of all, let's be clear. And that wasn't until I got older that I realized, like, me having my own relationship with him, I don't have to base it off what my pastor say. I don't have to base it off what my Sunday school teacher say. I mean, yes, those moments they were teaching when they was actually teaching from the word was good, but I can't lean and depend on everything they say, because they're human just like I am. So some of their things are going to be tailored to what their liking is and what they want you to do, and it's all a part of it's manipulation within that too. You know what I'm saying? So, but I used to take it to heart, like everything. Like, I don't want to disappoint my pastor. She human. Right. What about God? We don't care about discipline. God see you when you over there busting it wide open for a real nigga. Like, but you don't want your pastor to find out. Like, make it make sense.
Honestly, saying that statement says a lot.
Yes.
I don't think a lot of people are in church for God.
They not. They want to present it such.
Idolize, we're not really there for God.
No.
Because that wouldn't even be a thing.
It wouldn't be so many people. Right. Exactly. It wouldn't be so many people willingly being used by the devil to tear down another. Is that of God? Jesus talked about it all the time. You cast whoever can cast the first stone. He's did parable after parable showing about judging each other, yet y'all feel like it's y'all authority to judge somebody, call meetings, gather together, talk behind backs, spreading rumors. Is that of God? Jesus see you. He sees you doing all of this. But y'all don't care about that.
Say, they're not there for that.
You're not there for the real reason.
Clicks and
yes. The real meaning, the real reason why we should be there, you're really not there for. You're there, like I said, you're there to, like you said, feed your ego, because this is where you feel the most welcomed at or belonging to. Right. Maybe you don't have no belonging outside of this, but here is where you feel like you belong within mess. That's crazy. Like,
I saw a quote on Twitter. Somebody said, "There is no love like Christian hate."
Woo!
Oh, shit.
Right, that's what I said. I said, ooh.
That's so...
There's no love like Christian hate.
And that's all Jesus was. Love. That's why I don't understand, and this is a whole nother episode, we'll get to it when we get to it, but I don't understand the church, and I was taught as well to like being homosexual is a bad thing. I don't understand how the church can hate a group of people based on their sexual orientation. And you right up in here as the pastor or got deacons that's sleeping with the young women in the church.
Right. And know about it.
And they able to stay in their position. And they able to, but you'll cast down the women. You'll tell me my skirt too short before you check that man for his inappropriate behavior.
Too much, this or that. I used to get in trouble for him. I could never wear my hair like this. I said, you gotta wear your hair blonde like that? Oh yeah, it was bad.
Baby, I could never go to a church like that. I know.
None of that.
All of that.
What you doing? Who do you want to be here trying to... No, I just want to look cute.
Why I can't love myself? Why I can't be cute for me? Why I gotta be doing it for a man?
Stuff like this is a big deal for me because I've been conditioned. That's wrong.
Tone down.
Don't do that.
Don't be seen.
Yeah.
Like, baby. What a hoe look like though?
I think God really cares.
He don't.
It's so many things that he could be worried and concerned about versus how I look.
Hello?
I mean...
And God created me this way in his likeness and in his image. And if he made me this fine, so be it.
Sexy.
Period.
That's my thing. God made me sexy. And
period.
I'm like, I love this space that I'm in now because I'm really embracing that. Like I said, I had to heal the woman in my 20s. And I'm like, I'm owning that. Like, God made me sexy. He made me voluptuous. He made me beautiful. There was no mistakes. Someone said, oh, but while you were shaping in your mother's womb, God knew you. So that means that he didn't make a mistake when he
didn't make a mistake.
And so for all the years that I spent being shameful of how I look, I just feel like God was like, baby, why? Like, I made you that way. Like, just own that and be confident, in that. Be okay with your difference. Be okay with the way that I made you beautifully, wonderfully, fearfully. Like, it wasn't no mistakes.
None.
But you know what? I didn't catch that until I had to come away, from church. And that was hard because it's like, when I left church, I was called even more of a witch. Even more of people are so nasty, Portia.
It's okay. I know. I know.
Because they rather the judgment was worse.
Yeah.
When I decided to leave, but when nobody reaching for me.
That's the thing. Like, how can you see?
Nobody reached for me. Nobody.
That was the plan. To tear you down.
First, and that's something that I had to come to terms with is maybe they were doing all of that to push me out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you can't push me out of God. And this is the
it wasn't about God.
Also influence in areas and impact in areas more outside of church than I have on the inside. And God saw me like, what I put in you is what I gave to you.
Period.
Ain't nobody take that away. So people be struggling when they see a TikTok video went viral, when they see hundreds of women in my comment section. I went through that too. Oh my God. Somebody told me that they were suicidal because of the things that they went through, and I can identify with that because that's why I was questioning God so much. Like, why would you make me like this? Like, these people hate me. This is terrible. Then the church people telling you, oh, you just gotta pick up your cross and bear it. But no, why does it have to come at the expense of my confidence, my, the way that I see myself? So yeah, that portion of it, that people, they just throw stones, but wasn't nobody reaching though. Let's have the real conversation.
Hello.
And I said that in one of my videos, and people didn't like that, but that's okay, because you keep tabs on me to make yourself feel good.
That part.
Because now I'm not in the position, right? So now you can have all the stuff, like you can have all the shine, you can have the stage, baby, but reality sits in and like, hey, wherever she goes, she's gonna make an impact. It does not matter because that's just on the inside of me. So once I started realizing that, like, their opinions and stuff don't matter as much, as it used to, because it's just in me. You just got it, you got it.
You got it. And that's why I'm saying it was so much deeper than them not liking your appearance.
Right.
It was more about what they saw in you. People can see something in you that you don't even see in yourself most times. And they are intimidated. They are threatened. All those things, like you said, they saw what God had placed in you. And they allowed those negative spirits to come in them to try to stop what God had destined for you. But little did they know that you didn't need their platform. You didn't need their pulpit. You didn't need none of that to still be able to be utilized by God.
And I feel like it's more pure when you're in that space because you're not doing it for accolades or, you know what I'm saying? You kind of get sucked into that whole, I prayed good. I don't have that now. Like, be like, oh my God, like this girl is different. It's like, it's just in me. And I think that that's more pure. I'm not saying that like praying and all of that. Like,
No.
I'm not saying that
it's the performance piece.
Are not. But when you're doing it for performance and really to make a name for yourself, who are you really impacting?
Exactly. And that's what when you said that prayer, I was, listen, I was ordained to be a deacon.
Wow. I never got ordained. And that's the thing too, I wanted to say, I've never been ordained. And the hell that I went to, it was like I was just fighting to be myself. Because I never had an ordination. I was never nobody leader. There was one point where I was in youth ministry, but that wasn't like ordination. It was more volunteer. So I was a volunteer youth leader. But as far as like an official title stamp and to have gone through what I did was crazy. Because you would have thought I had a title. You would have thought I was.
No, they were stopping all that. They were stopping all of that. I was. So when I was ordained or whatever, I knew that on certain Sundays I would have to pray. I think it was first Sundays. I would have to pray as a deacon amongst the other deacons. Like, and it's old seasoned deacons up there, okay? And people love, like I was one of the people before I became a deacon. Like, I love when this deacon pray. You get caught up in all that. Girl, I would be at home practicing my prayers, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Practicing. It's perfecting the performance but not actually living the life that for me. Okay, I ain't speaking to nobody else's experience.
Right.
Because I'm not here to judge people. I'm not
That's
here to judge people, but we focus more in the church on perfecting the performance of it all. Because you right up in this church performing and acting like you so love God and you doing all these things, and you get right downstairs, not even leave out the sanctuary and you cussing somebody out. Make it make sense.
Right.
Where is the applying? Right. Where's the applying of what you've learned or what you're teaching or what you're like what? Like your lifestyle ain't lining up.
Right. Absolutely. I've seen that girl so much.
It's and again, this is not a judgment, right? It's not
unfortunate because I feel like you really can miss the blessing in doing the hard work.
That
I also feel like that a lot of people are looking for identity in church. I definitely was one of those.
Yes.
Looking for identity or to create an image of myself, so much so that I really lost myself. So I see that a lot. I think a lot of people need therapy to learn like who they are. Like we can't keep casting out. Well, I don't do it anymore because I'm not in church. But casting out devils, praying 1,000-time deliverance. Hey, that's cool, but those are like short-term fixes to
the real
rooted issues. I've seen people who are worse off. I'm not even in church, but it's because I've taken time to work on my heart and my mind and to see things from a different perspective. That's why I don't hate church people. I don't hate.
No.
There was a point where I did, because I went through a situation with a crazy psychopathic prophetess that literally almost that was gonna be the thing that made me hate church forever. Like that was gonna be the thing, but I saw where like the devil was really working in her and in that. And God is faithful. I'm just gonna say that because your girl was been in jail.
Woo. Yeah. Child.
It was that bad.
Yeah.
It was that bad. And using God, she was able to weasel her way. Mind you, this was out of church. I'm out of church now. Like, so I'm just out here.
Right.
Sorting through my church hurt. And she was aware of that. I shared things with her. You know what I'm saying? I think she a leader. Like, I shared things with her, and she used the things that I shared with her against me. She connected with people from my former church in an attempt to turn them away from me. I don't know if they succeeded or not, or if she succeeded or not, because I don't really keep in touch with a lot of people anymore. It's just a personal decision to just
cut it off,
completely cut ties. But it was real bad. It's just prophetess.
It's a lot of self-proclaimed, self-titled, whatever. People want to advance certain people because of popularity, or I like this person, so I'm going to put you in this position. That does not mean a thing. Again, I have no heaven or hell to put nobody into. I ain't here to judge nobody. I don't know if you heard the voice of the Lord and he told you to go preach and teach his word. I don't know. That ain't my place to figure it out. But if your spirit is not in alignment with the God that I know, the God that I read about, the God that has shown himself to me, then I don't need to be mixing my spirit with you. Because I'm not here to be faking the funk. I'm not here for that any longer, okay?
Right.
Before my past, I was trained or conditioned to look at things and respect this and, whatever. But the more and more I start seeing through the cracks, I was like, y'all human just like me. Like, what is we talking about here? Like, y'all ain't doing right all the time. Like, let's be real. Like, so if we would just
on so much shame.
Yeah.
To what?
To who?
Imperfect people.
Hello?
Blind people just like me. People, maybe your stuff not on display. Maybe everybody's not gossiping about you and what you got going on, but you're just as flawed as me, and that's why you judge the way that you do.
Yeah.
Because you're just as flawed as me. So sometimes I feel like you have to come out of certain environments to be objective and to really heal. I really do think You know, so I feel bad for a lot of people now. I do.
Yeah.
Even the woman who was like really vicious, like, you know, and attacking me, I feel bad for her because I will never know that level of hate. And I thank God every day.
Yeah.
And for the people who were my offenders, like repeat offenders, what I call them, I would never know that level of hate. And I feel so bad for them because it's like, how did that happen?
Right.
Like, what happened to you? I'd be curious. Like, what happened to you that you got? Somebody did something to you. Somebody said something to you about you, and you never healed from that.
That part.
Instead of breaking that cycle, you project
Continue.
it onto
Yep.
someone else. You know,
hurt people. Hurt people.
I do feel bad for a lot of people. Whereas before, I was so angry and so like confused, like trying to figure out what I did wrong, and it was never about me. It wasn't.
It's so sad. And what I think could prevent it, like you said, if we had more people that was willing to pull you up out of there, like, or just come towards you and say, "Hey, sister, I know this is going on. It's okay. Like, you gonna make it through this." We have more people in the church willing to see, instead of believing what other people are saying, but willing to see and wanting to help. Really help. Like, that's what we're here for. That's the whole point of congregating. And like, somebody had asked me before, like, you don't feel no type of way about not belonging to a church now? Like, you shouldn't forsake the what they say,
gathering,
the assembling of the people. But if the people is corrupt,
I don't know parts.
I'm protecting my peace. I'm protecting my spirit. I'm protecting my family and what I'm trying to build over here. We know Jesus. We talk to him every day. Hey, boo, we here. I don't need to come there to be subjected to such things. I don't no longer. I'm not in that space in my life anymore. I don't need to belong in that space.
Oh.
I don't need that, and I still have a relationship with him.
I
And
thought that I did.
Yeah.
I was like, girl, why did you? Why?
I
Kill that girl back then, baby, because I'm telling you, when I turned 30, I was like, oh, okay, well, that's it for me.
That's it.
You know, like,
I won't go into another decade of my life with this. Yeah.
I'm sorry, maybe catch me at 40, 50. I don't know, but like I said, I've experienced, like you were saying, I've experienced God. I feel like real relationships, I see so differently now.
Yes.
Like, whereas I used to be judgmental or
to
criticize, I have so much compassion now.
Yes.
You know? And it really takes a work, because that's really sad to say that I had to come from church in order to see certain things, realize, certain things. Like,
yeah.
It is what it is. And I got past that feeling of shame about she not in church. It was leaders telling people don't listen to her when she's saying certain things. Baby, I'm not out here trying to lead nobody church. I don't want nobody ministry. I don't want none of that. Like, I just want to live in my truth.
That part. Live in my truth. And you're not going to take it from me. You don't have that.
Be so bothered. Like, because I'm living in my truth. Because they did you wrong.
Exactly. They know.
Cope with it. It's okay, baby.
They know. They know. They know what they did. They know, oh, and she's still trying to be prosperous. Like, she's still out here thriving. Yes, I am.
Big time.
I am.
There will be so many doors that open that, like, I struggle in church with, like, certain things, and it just kind of, like, flow back to back to back. And that's not the first time I've witnessed it. Like, I've seen people say, like, baby, I left and my life went up, like, massively. It's like, because it's like oppression almost.
Yes, bondage. It's the bondage of it all. Like, break free. When you break free, you like, oh, it's a whole nother thing out here that feels good and that's peaceful and no confusion and all of those things. But while you was in the midst of it, you couldn't see no way out. I would never leave my. I would never leave.
It's the fear tactics behind
Yes.
it. Like, oh, if you leave, the life gonna fail. The devil's just gonna be attacking you all the time. This and that, or like in my case, you gonna turn into a witch. But I'm in church and y'all calling me a witch.
That part.
So which one is it?
Which one is it? I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. Okay? It don't even matter.
Like, so should I just not exist? Like,
right. Should I just go off myself? Would that make y'all happy?
Right. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Damn.
But you just have to live for yourself. I remember, like, when I first left, I was so scared. So I went to counseling.
Mm-hmm.
And the counselor was like, just jump off the porch. I'm like, what you talking about? She's like, you're like a child standing on the porch. You want to jump so bad.
Just jump.
The porch
just
and
jump.
live your life. What's the worst that can happen? You get out here and be like, hey, well, shoot. Or you can go and live your life for yourself.
Yes.
And see that it's the best decision you ever made for yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know until. So that's another piece. Is like, I feel like for me personally, I don't know, something with the way that I processed in my mind kind of was stunted.
Mm-hmm.
Because like we said before, always having that thought of, let me please my pastor, let me make sure I'm not doing this or that.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure I got approval. That was my big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Everything had to be approval. Is this okay? Da, 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 da. It like stunted my growth.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like in my ability to make decisions and deal with the consequences, good or bad.
Yep.
That's just a part of decision making. It's a part of critical thinking.
Yes.
But I feel like a part of that got stunted.
Yeah.
Because it was just so doused in like religion or
tradition. They take that power. What happens, they take that power away from you to have that free will that God already gave you. How you gonna take something from me God already gave me? But no, it's conditional. Yeah, it's conditional. It's only you can have free will, but you got to do it like this. And if you don't do it like this, then you ain't gonna be able to do this. And if you don't do it like this, then it's God's love ain't conditional. That's why I didn't never understand, like, y'all preaching one thing, y'all telling me about how his love is, but then you displaying another thing. It's like, it's confusion. It's like, I don't know what to do.
Right. Yeah. I definitely identify with that because that's why I was just like, okay, I have to get out and things have to make sense for me.
Mm-hmm. Period.
Let me go make sense of my life, who I am, who God is to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a journey. It really has. But I'm thankful for the space that I'm coming into now.
Yes.
Because they'll see this video, they watch everything that I do.
Mm-hmm. Keep on watching. Keep on. Hey, y'all.
Watch everything that I do. Hey, boo.
She's still thriving.
Don't listen to people who left church. Whatever, baby. Do what you gotta do. Because at the end of the day, it's like, if we only are concerned about people in church, who's saving the world?
Hello?
And I have a big heart for the world.
That part.
I really do.
That part.
I have a big heart for the world just because what about them? Like,
yeah.
There are people just like us. Like, and I really don't feel like there should be any separation.
That's what I'm saying. It's the separation with even in the denominations and all that type of stuff. Like, that ain't. How are we?
Messed up at that point.
Oh, you go to what?
So confused.
Oh, you Baptist? Y'all ain't really saved.
Right.
How you gonna tell me about myself? Why is my salvation based on your titling of me?
Right.
Like, isn't salvation basically just accepting Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior? But because I'm Baptist with it,
Right.
Oh, you ain't really saved. Y'all ain't really doing it right.
Right.
Y'all wearing red lipstick? Girl, bad.
Right.
Y'all ain't gonna make it into heaven.
I don't wear ripped jeans over there. That was the thing about ripped jeans.
Or you
wearing ripped jeans.
Or you wear pants, period, in the sanctuary. Y'all wearing pants?
Right.
Y'all talking before the church in pants? Ooh, child, y'all going to hell.
Baby, they finna cut my hair out.
Ooh. like them kids that come up to the black kids that come to the track meets and stuff with dreads. Right. Now we gotta cut. This is what I'm saying. It's a mess.
Portia, a lot of stuff with me, I have a mindset that's always like generational. So I don't like. I thought about the things that I went through, and I'm looking like I have two beautiful girls. Mm-hmm. I don't want them to experience what I did in church. So I think a part of me leaving is to protect them. You know, that was a rough decision because, like we were always taught, you're going to be in church because you're not going to survive outside of church. You know what I'm saying? Or it's a sin. It's the forbidden thing.
Yeah.
Do that. But, like, there are, like, even in terms of me and my mom's relationship, I love my mom. I do. I know she watched this.
Yeah.
It's no shade. It's no nothing.
No.
But I think a lot of our relationship was impacted by religious stuff. So I have the opportunity now with my oldest to do things differently. And I love that. I love that because I don't have that religious approach to our relationship. And
Yes. That's so real. Cause that's why I'm saying we in alignment here, because that was so my thing when I was taking my oldest to church with me. Mm-hmm. And I was seeing how things was going and all this type of stuff, and I wasn't settled in my spirit. I couldn't explain it fully at the time. Right. And even me trying to tell, I love singing in church. I want to be here. I want to be doing all the things and stuff, but they not right. Right. And again, this is not a judgment. This is more, it's an observation of it's toxic.
They don't want to have.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable. It makes you reflect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's no judgment or anything.
It's no judgment. It's just
you can't be a facilitator of abuse and then not want to face those that you abuse. And
exactly.
I think that's why I went through what I went through, because once I started talking, baby, I was shocked to have gone viral. I was shocked to wake up and there was hundreds of comments of women saying like, they did it to me. And when I went to a lot of these women pages, a lot of them flipped. So now they're witches, they're actively into spiritualism. No judgment from me. Like, you got to do what works for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That works for them. Hey, I don't have any judgment. But I was like, it was such a burden.
Yeah.
Like, I wept for a few days. I didn't even I had to sign out. Because the comments kept coming, notifications kept coming. It was so overwhelming. See, and women just saying like, "Thank you for sharing your story," because I felt forgotten. I didn't think anybody else went through something like this. They made me feel like I was the only one. I'm like, that's I'm the only one.
Yeah. You're outcast because you decided to use your own brain. And
I was like, that's too much. Like, but I felt like I had my life. If I ever had a life's purpose, I feel like that was that moment.
Yes.
You never feel like you just, it's something big that I feel like that was it.
Yeah.
Because the power of a voice.
I'm telling you. And that's why they want you to be silent. That's why they want you to be silent, because they don't want you to set free others. They don't want you to give a voice to the voiceless. They don't want you to awaken something, and people are like, wait, that's happening with me. I didn't know that this was wrong. I didn't know that this feeling. But like I said, your spirit is going to be uneasy because it's not right. And if you're not paying attention to your spirit and you're still in the midst of it, it's just because you're choosing, again, that free will comes in. You're choosing to still be there. But I was listening to my body. I was listening to my spirit. I was like, oh no, I can't raise my baby in it. I don't want her to grow up with this hurt, this pain. I don't want her to grow up being judged and being judged or mistreated because whatever. Like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make, and I stopped. But
for that. I know that was hard.
It was because it's a tradition of it all.
Because it looks like you going
against. Yep.
All that you know been taught in your tradition, and it's not that. It really is okay to question what you believe. It's okay to challenge what you believe.
Yes.
And if it does not align with your personal core values, your boundaries, you know, who you are as a person, it is okay to remove whatever does not align.
Yep.
It's okay.
It is what it is.
Don't have core values. They don't know what that is, you know. And I don't judge. I just hope one day people learn that.
They get it. They get it.
Really judge that up against some of the stuff that's out there in religion and see if it really makes sense. Like, does this really align for your life? Do you really feel proud to say that you're a Christian? Knowing the conversations that you sat in on, knowing, you know what I'm saying, the behavior that you witnessed, that you probably was like, dang, why they do so and so like that? But you aided in it because you didn't try to stop it.
You don't want to go against the grain. You don't want to be outcast too. You don't want to be on the
guilty.
Yep.
If you didn't say something, if you didn't do something to help. So
yes. Listen, we're going to get more into your purpose point that you felt like you've hit in your life in this part 2. So we're going to end this episode because we done went be jaded and flash. We're going to definitely tap more into this purpose point now that this journey has now taken you to in your life, okay, in this new decade of your life, okay. But before we go, I just want to share my last segment, Speak Life, okay. So in this segment is where I leave you with a call to action for yourself, not just for you, but for me as well, okay. Whether it's an affirmation, scripture, or quote. So I'll leave you with these words to hold on to until next time. So it's an affirmation for today, everybody, all right? The affirmation is, I am worthy of loving and being loved even when I am hurting. You heard it, you say it, you write it down, and remind yourself to speak it and make it happen. Because, child, life be lifing us all. Catch us on part 2 to hear the rest of SheVante's wonderful story, y'all. Thank y'all.